My name's Joe, we are Stellar Scaffolding, and this is episode 13. So today we're going to be on site with the boys in Peckham as they're setting up stages for a festival. Before that, we're going to take you back to last Wednesday when we were carrying on site with Ashville. As you can see, the structure is now taking place, so we think we've probably got another day and a half in here. So the bits today, obviously what the boys are doing is we're putting all of the boards along this side here. So if we come inside, obviously normally it'd be a case of, as you've seen before, the tin sheets would be going on top and the monoflex would be going around the sides, around the back and around this side here. Obviously this is our access in and out of the building. But what we're doing here, where it's a permanent structure, and the monoflex will pull off corrugated sheets that are on a tin hat, they're going to be going around the sides and around the back. So if you look here, what we've had to put in is a structure along the back that we can fix the sheets onto. And then what the boys are doing on the sides here is branch boarding all the way along. Obviously we've got the crash deck up there, which we'll go and have a look at. They've branch boarded all the way along here, which you can see. So they've built all the boards up, the board clamps to tie them into each other. Again, we'll go up there and have a look at that. Now, although we are in an enclosed compound, obviously at Ashville'S yard, we've treated this as if it's a pavement scaffold. Now, it's a very busy site. There's a lot of people in and out. Things always ongoing here. So as soon as we started basing the scaffold out, we had our scaffold incomplete signs up to make sure that no one can come up and start accessing the scaffold. Foam on all the legs, so obviously to make sure that if anyone is to hit the scaffold, not only does it make it more visible, it also makes sure that if anyone's to hit it, that again, no injury is incurred. Access in and out of here. Around here we've got the staircase, so we've got foam all the way. And as you'll see here, and as you also saw on our theatre project, on the art gallery project, we've got these that are called nipple caps. And obviously what they are, they fit on the thread, and essentially they are like a little capping for a nipple. Standard, we would have double handrail. Top handrail height is usually 950, so 950 mil. And it's the same here, however, he's asked for us to do 4 handrails as opposed to 2, just to make sure that it's boxed in and obviously minimize any risk. If someone was to fall, there's no way they can fall out this way. So obviously here, unless someone is extremely skinny, there's no way that they're gonna fall through here. So it keeps everything nice, plump and tight. Now coming up to our staircase, so there's 2 staircases on this project, there's one either side. Simple reason being that the access points are separate. So obviously we've got one up for this crash deck here, we've got the tin hat, which underneath is going to be machines in and out, and then on the other side of that, we've got another crash deck with its own access. So this access here, again, we've got our triple handrail all the way up, our standards go straight in, and then we've run our ledgers all the way up. So obviously we've come up the staircase, and this is our first boarded lift here. What we've had to do with our legs is make sure, and our ledgers, that everything, for obvious reasons, doesn't protrude or doesn't conflict with opening this door here. But again, this crash deck is still to be snagged. So we're going to go over to the other side now where the boys are working, and I'll see you there. And we've landed. You can see here as well where we've got the step in the scaffold, and the reason for that, 2 containers sit at separate heights. So the boys have had to go slightly higher on this side. But obviously what we'll do is run a tube through here and make this nice and visible with some foam. There is 2 separate heights, obviously different for over here, but again we found a way around it and we can make it nice, safe and visible.
That bottom handrail there, I was going to put another couple of handrails up to here.
He'll want them snipped, wouldn't he? So it's all flush.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll do it right now. How about that?
Where the boys have had to cut this little section here, obviously it would have been a trip hazard, so what the boys have done is snip that there so it's nice and flush on all the corners, and obviously just make sure that there's no interruption with the access, and obviously people can walk around, dance around, skip, jump around, and there's no risk of them clipping their feet. Anywhere there's something like that, where slight things protrude, the ends get slipped off to keep it all nice and flush.
There won't be anything too heavy in like one square.
Yeah, if it's spread out a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
In fact, we can't get nothing that heavy up here anyway.
Yeah, they've got to lift it back down.
Yeah. So we might have a forklift You might have a forklift lift some stuff up here, but
Yeah.
that forklift couldn't get anything up here that was more than 2 tons.
Yeah.
Reckon you got any scaffold coming up on any of your construction stuff?
Penthouse job, central London.
Yeah.
It's on the 6th floor,
Right.
but imagine this is the landing of the 6th floor. Like on top of it, again, there's no access. We need to put aircon units. So I'm not sure how we're going to get them up there. And I'm not sure if there's enough of a footprint on the landing to put some scaffold up and what you're actually going to attach to. I may need scaffold going up to the 7th floor, but that in itself will just be, we're talking centrals, you're talking congestion, suspending parking bays.
That's all normal stuff for us though.
More money than the job on
yeah.
getting there before you
before
put
you
like
start.
one length in.
We've done one similar before, and it's a case of putting the scaffold in, and obviously the hoist, platform hoist at the front of that, straight up.
I'll let you know as soon as I know.
But you're happy with this?
Yeah, man, it's looking good. The penthouse apartment, innit? When I'm under pressure, I'll find my way up here, and I'll just be up here spying on everyone and seeing what's going on.
Yeah, you get a
and
good
just,
view up
having
here.
some time to just think and.
It's a good viewing gallery.
I prefer to climb up here than on that water tower. To see more from here as well. So.
Is that what that's for up there? Do you have to get up there for viewing as well?
Yeah, we get up there. That's my other place where I used to hide, but everybody knows about that one now. So I used to go up there, and everyone will like, "How does he know where I am?" And then they look and they see me there.
We'll have to box all this in a bit higher then, and give you a little flap, little cat flap, little cat flap on each corner.
Great storage space. It costs so much money for space.
Yeah.
The higher I can get it up,
the more
more
space
I'm
you
set.
got.
Because whatever, imagine the footprint of up here.
Yeah.
I would have been paying rent for that on the floor to have storage.
Yeah, so
now
you
I've
double it
got
up.
this here. Now I put it up.
All right, geezer.
How we doing? Yeah, what's the guy, buddy?
We're going to plan?
Yeah, all going to plan, mate, all going to plan. Oils, all the filters all done on this.
Sweet.
You've had an air filter,
Yeah.
which is that one.
Yeah.
You've had a cabin filter,
Yeah.
which is that one. So that's...
And that's
through the
what's
cab.
dirty. Is that dirty than it should be, is it?
Yeah, so that's where you're on a lot of building sites and things.
Yeah,
that you get all
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know, so that goes through the cab, so that just gives you fresh air straight through the cab. So you'll be breathing in fresh air now. Here's your oil filter.
Yeah.
Which you can see what happens as they start going like that, look, they get really bad.
Yeah.
And your diesel filters, I'll say same again, so they've all been replaced. What happens is you take the diesel filter off, and it puts an airlock in the system.
Right.
But these have got a high pressure pump in the tank. What it does is it pumps it back into the filter and fills the filter back up, and then what happens then it re-injects it back up and takes the airlock out of it. Yeah.
Spot on.
Reset the service light on it.
Yeah.
And we're all good to go.
No, you're the man, top man. We are in Peckham. We're with a number of the boys in the Stainfield for a festival. The boys are up there now, they'll be rocking and rolling. We got a little held up this morning, we had a few things to deal with. I was actually away on the weekend, but back now, straight back to business. Wheels are back in motion and we are moving. We are on the way to see the boys now. They'll be there cracking on, and we're gonna get up nice, close and personal and showing you what the boys do best.
I don't know if he's been to that side.
The plan is, I can have men on this bit, but I can also get boys getting that up as well. So I purposely brought extra so we can do a couple of gangs. Geezer, you right, yeah?
Oh yeah, not bad, you?
Good, mate, yeah.
That's got to go loads that way still. On the end of the long, yeah? Level.
I saw that. Theft of company property, that is. That's my chewing gum. They've gone into the pickup. Sean's taken out, he's dishing it out to all the boys. That wasn't allowed. I said he could have one. Now I'm about 5 down.
Because it's high.
Luca, can we steal you for a sec, mate, please? On the design, obviously, as it's a stage, it doesn't show any handrail. But the issue we've got is obviously, for us, and what we're governed by, we need to put a handrail on it.
There's a big board going up the side.
Yeah.
So this will be closed.
Right.
And then on this side as well, there's I think the same.
So you've essentially got like artwork that it's going to cover anyway,
Yeah, so the only bit that's open
Boys.
is the front, but we then put a DJ platform on the front.
Cool.
And then the back is
fine.
The back is fine.
Cool.
The back is access.
Yeah, so obviously, so they've got essentially like artwork that's going to go on it anyway that will act as the handrail. Boys are getting set up now with basing out the structure. So what this is going to be, obviously this is Rally Festival in Peckham. We've got a stage that the boys are getting ready now. So we've got 2 gangs at the minute. We've got Zid, Brownie and Ross. And what they're using is this golf buggy here. So I've had a little ride on it as well. It is good fun. And we're also going to give you guys a ride in it as well. So that's going to come up very soon. Now, although we're following a design, there's a couple of points where we think we can maybe strengthen up the structure slightly. So these little extra bits that you've got going in the middle here, extra legs the boys are putting in down both sides, and what we're going to do is cut them flush, and what that's going to do is just offer more stability to the structure. Now, these towers that we've got here, we've got 4 sets of legs, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and what we're going to have is a first lift in here for structural purposes, where each of the distance here is 16 inches, and what we're going to do is cut that all nice and flush in each corner so that nothing's exposed, and then it's going to be a case of another lift above that, which is where our beams will be. And what this has to be is watertight. So once we've done our structure, once we've got everything built in place, what they're going to do is they're going to hoard everything off, and we're going to have our tin hat on top, which will complete the structure of the stage. Well, we've got a bit of a distance between the 2 projects. We're going to run them simultaneously. So we've got the boys on this one here being set up, and we've got the boys on this one here. Now, there's quite a distance to get over to the bandstand area. And obviously where the boys are working with the lorry here, we've kept the lorry here, and by pure chance we've had this little buggy that's become available, so we're using this. Obviously the beams that you can see here are for our tin hat here, for the roof, and everything the boys are loading up is for the bandstand. So we're going to jump in there with them in a second and go and have a look. Seaside trip. The boys are here getting set up now. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump out, we'll have a little walk around and show you what exactly they're doing. Obviously you can see there's quite a distance between the 2 jobs. It's quite loud. The boys are cracking on, getting loaded out. But we'll jump out, have a little walk, and I'll show you what the situation is. This here is for a bandstand area. So what we're going to do is basically put a splayed scaffold nice and tight all the way round, and now where it's going to be tied together is through itself. So we're not allowed to tie into these pillars. The scaffold has to be boxed in and structurally secure into itself by using tubes that will span straight through the middle on either side. Once the structure's in, what our client's going to be doing is hanging curtains all the way down to the scaffold, obviously to give it its character, to give it its image that they need for the festivals. I've actually got an image here on my phone from last year to show you how the setup was done. It's something a little bit different, but for us obviously it's a cool little project for the boys, and something that should be wrapped up in good time today. Hold on tight. Right, don't go too fast and don't be silly. So yeah, the boys are off now to get a load more material. So obviously it's going to be a case of getting a few trips backwards and forwards. Now for a little bit more on the project, obviously we've been brought in solely to do the stage and the bandstand area. There's also a dry hire service that we're providing, which essentially, although we supply and erect the scaffolding, we've also been asked just to hire some material. So we've got another lorry that's going to come here tomorrow, which will be hired out to the company separately. All we are doing is dropping it off and going, and there's a fee that's agreed for doing so. Now, to give you a small rundown on the setup here, obviously as you look over here, you've got a system scaffold being done. Obviously at the minute we don't use system scaffolding. It's something that at some point we probably will open a division for, but at the minute we're solely focused on tube and fitting. It's not something that we offer currently. It's definitely something that in the future we will open a separate division for. So the boys are on their way now. That's their 3rd trip. They'll be able to get cracking soon. Obviously they're just getting all their material over there. I think they're quite enjoying being in their buggy. But yeah, they're allowed to enjoy now and again. I'd say that as long as it's only an hour a day max, maybe half an hour, they're allowed to enjoy themselves. But other than that, there's no laughing. Work has to be very serious, and yeah, I don't want to have too much fun. There's a job to be done. So we're on the hunt for Luca, but I don't know where he is. I need him. I can't find him. and I'm getting stressed. The good thing about being in 2024 is you have phones. So I'm going to get out my phone. I'm going to call Luca.
Welcome to the EE voice call.
Oh, he's calling me back. Oh, doesn't want to talk to me.
Hey, sorry, can I call you back in 2 minutes?
Yes, mate, yeah, can we back? No problem.
Right, cheers.
No worries, mate. Fine, I got all day, no worries. That looks solid though now.
Same.
Decent little job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man.
I just missed Luca's call back.
Welcome to the EE.
So basically, me and Luca have got a very, very toxic relationship. I didn't know that until today, but we do. Obviously for me, where we've started doing this, I'm able to be on site a lot more. But normally, and I think where we've not been as busy, or the phone's not been as busy, I've not been out quoting and pricing as much as normal. Now, normally I'm on the road, flat out, pricing jobs. Mainly that has been, well, I think when we're busy, that is mainly what I'm doing, is I'm there pricing stuff 24/7, but obviously anything that I price, I need to go and see. And obviously when you're working anywhere from Southampton up to northwest London, you don't know what jobs are going to come about at a certain time. So it can be a case of one day you're in like the morning to Southampton, then you've got to go to Andover, then you're up in North London, and it's all a little bit here, there and everywhere. But the time that can be taken, obviously a lot of time gets eaten up when that happens. So, but at the minute where things are a bit quieter, or they have been quieter, it's quite nice. I can be on site a lot more with the boys. Now, Luca, I imagine, is calling me back. Hello, mate.
Hi.
We were playing tennis, phone tennis.
You all right?
The boys have seen there's some concrete pads that have turned up. I think there's like some concrete boulders. Is there any chance we could steal like 2 for this?
Well, you want to just put some just to anchor it down, basically?
We'll put like a little table that will like start from this end and go to the other end.
Right.
About, what is it, 1 metre high from
Right.
from like the platform height.
Yeah, from here up, yeah.
From the deck height. That platform needs to be isolated from the structure.
Right.
So like it just needs to be a standalone structure built straight to the floor and not be touching any of the structure.
Right, okay.
Because when they use like turntables, they're like really sensitive to vibrations.
Right, okay.
Like the structure's rattling because of the subs.
Yeah.
The turntable will just be jumping all over the place. You won't be able to play any records.
How are you getting on, mate? We'll come have a look in a sec.
Did you hear that bang?
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, they're not going anywhere now.
You're starting to show now,
Mate, you can't do this because I've been my name will be in lights and everything.
That's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I won't be able to work for you no more. Running this frame round, draping some curtains, can't touch the building, so we have to put temporary braces in. They're going to come out. We're going to run the temporary tube in now just to tie it together through the centre. And then when we're up there, we're going to run some plan bracing across the top of it just to catch it all and make it all safe. Yeah.
Tying to these columns.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a piece of piss.
It's got butts.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, there's filties up in there. Got hilty anchors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but roof's not tested. Speaking to mate earlier on, yeah, because we see that, we thought, oh, wicked. Yeah, but the roof, it's not been tested, and they are literally for hanging baskets.
Basically, we can't tie into it anywhere at all. Now, there is some ties they've got there in the roof, but the issue we've got is tying into them. The roof isn't like load bearing, it's not been tested. It can take, they're more for aesthetic purposes as opposed to being like a load bearing tie. And obviously the weight of our scaffold, you can't just take a gamble that just because something's there and it's easy, that it's necessarily going to take the weight. So it's a bit of a pain, but what we've got to do, we're going to see if there's any foam on the lorry, and basically there's pillars, the columns that we've got around the outside, we're going to see if we can box those in, and obviously by using the foam, it would obviously protect the pillars and make sure that nothing gets damaged.
What are you going between them transoms, Jakey? What are you going between them transoms inside centre? Should be 5.5. 6.5.
6.5, hang on.
I've got 5.5 there.
Yeah, it should be. Take it down to 6.5, 5.5, Jakey. So just undo the front of this double. This one here, this one.
Yeah, that one's fit, that one's right, isn't it?
It's this back one that's got to go in, isn't it?
Yeah.
While the boys are cracking on over there, I thought I'd bring you over. I'm basically making up these alley beams. So these are 450 beams. Obviously, this is what's going to be the foundations for our roof, and it's going to span from front to back. So what I'm doing now is I've got these spigots here. This is my spigot. These are my spring clips. So I'm going to pop all of these off of here, like so. And off the back of that, I'm going to slip that in there. I'm going to try to. Right, with a little bit of force, he's in. Now obviously the same, what you got to do is marry up these holes. So there's going to be one through here and one through here. But you'll see that all this bracing here, it's all got to run the same way. So if this is up this way, it's incorrect. It has to be like so. So basically the weight transfers through all of these. So basically have to make sure that if it ends at this point, that it starts again at the same point. And that keeps the weight transferring through the beam. Now these beams are the 450 beams, so they're alley beams, 450 mil. And these are the smallest beams or most light duty beams that we use. But on something like this where it's only an 8 metre span, ideally you'd have it in one run. The longest you get these in is 8 metres. Obviously we've got a few of those there, but where we were short of the rest, it's a case of joining fours together. Obviously 4 plus 4 is 8. We just want to run a beam in there just because it's better structurally. But is that going to protrude with what you guys are doing? Because obviously you're now lower.
Yeah, the roof is to be just it's only a little bit bigger than these ladder beams. The roof's got to be like that. So there's nothing going below it or over it.
If they're underneath, I'm telling you that, they're on top underneath and later. Yeah, together. You can never use flat beams like that in scaffolding, ever. Never.
So I hate to say it, but we've had to stop filming. We've basically written the day off. That was an absolute disaster of a day, absolute shit show. Yeah, an embarrassing performance from us, from me and the boys.
What a shit day. I'm sorry, but I've got to say.
No, it was, mate, it was a shit show, bro.
There was just too many people getting in the way. Like, we've moved every single beam 10 times.
My ups for me, I would say I overpopulated it, and obviously I should have been more organised and made sure we had the right beams. That's the truth.
I'm more worried about how they perceive us than I am.
Yeah. But bro, listen, at the minute it won't be great, but close the play tomorrow, they'll think we're the bollocks, and you can wrap it up with them. Definitely the worst day we've had though, isn't it? Defo.
The worst day I've ever had on here, Joe.
Yeah. Do you know the mad thing is? Guess what the episode number is?
What? 13. Yeah.
Fucking 13. That was an absolute disaster of a day, and just, I don't know. Like, I feel like on here, yeah, we are always, the wheels are always in motion to things rolling and flying, and we always have luck on our side, and like things just happen. But I feel like from top to bottom, that was just a disaster today. Like I say, we are normally always so lucky on here and things just fly. But that there today was an absolute disaster. But from start to finish, I think for me, I overpopulated the job. I think for me, the material wasn't sorted out properly. We had different, some of the beams weren't right. There was just, genuinely, I'll be honest, like I'm saying this now into quite an audience, that was a disaster, and I myself am definitely to blame for that. And obviously Kieran's just rang me then, and he's pissed off, and I think we were all pissed off today. Like that everyone is annoyed at that day. Like we've all said that is the worst day we think we've had. But listen, we're going to go back there tomorrow. We had 2 days to complete this. We wanted to get it done in one, and it should have been done in one, definitely, like easily, comfortably. But listen, we're human, these things happen, and yes, it is a business, and yes, you know, things should be running like clockwork, but sometimes as a growing business and everything else, things don't. And there's no right or wrong in that. There is, it's wrong. It shouldn't be a thing, but listen, like I said, we're always going to be transparent on these episodes. I am cringing inside of every word that I'm saying, because my way is to show that, you know, like grit and getting things done and results, and at the minute today we had to walk away from it because the boys are arguing. It wasn't going how it should go at all. It was a disaster, and yeah, but listen, we move. We've got a lot coming up. We've got the wrap up with Ashville on our first project with him. We're going to go back to that stage there. We're going to show you that complete, and we've also got numerous projects starting. So on the back of that, I'm going to wrap up the episode. So it's a little bit different to the usual. However, I think episode 13 is speaking for itself. But listen, we're going to wrap up the episode there. To all new subscribers, thank you very much. I absolutely love having you on board. You're still in early. This only started 12 weeks ago. And yeah, we've got an awful lot of work to be done. So thank you to everyone who likes, comments and subscribed. And we will see you next week for episode 14.